every single person, from the XRP people to the Chainlink people to the Swift people to the Bitcoin people to the Cardano people, Charles Hoskinson running around, I'm back, he fucking comes back like the Undertaker, I ain't fucking leaving. That's Charles Hoskinson. He was down for a little bit. He was like, I'm so defeated, I'm like going away from Twitter, all this stuff. But the Chainlink, the Swift, and the XRP people, oh my god, it's all how about this? How about everyone? How about everybody shut their mouth and let's try to like come back to reality, right? But yet again, for the millionth time, there's a lot of intentional engagement bait on crypto Twitter and shit. It's literally a toxic cesspool. That's why like you really got to try to narrow in on who you follow and stuff. The fighting is nonstop about Swift is using XRP. They're just not saying it. That bunch of more top YouTube guys. Apex Crypto is one of them. He replied to, dude, the thing he replied to on my Twitter. Let me see if I can find it. I said something to GEC about like Elizabeth Warren. Dude, Twitter is crazy. First of all, follow me on Twitter. This is like, what is this website? This guy, Jesus Chrysler the second, posts. Mitch McConnell says first words after awakening from coma. Did Mitch McConnell die or something? He goes, I can smell your nappy butt. Like, what the hell is this? So what did he say? Oh my God, this is crazy too. Just buy Bitcoin and self-custody is like, why would you even deal with whatever circus this is? Michael Saylor out there posting Game of Thrones, him and Fong Lee, oh, we'll fight in the, like, it's sick. Listen, I'm all for good production value and shit, even though it's AI. I mean, that's pretty tough, dude. Look at that. I mean, that is next level. I can't find what I wrote. Scams is popping off. Dude, we have so much stuff to get to. People are calling, well, they're not calling people out. I'm kind of stoking the flame saying they're calling people out. Because crypto, let's get into it, all right? Let's get into it. This guy Smoke posts all sorts of just out of context documents and whatever, and you at the end of the day have to decipher for yourself, because he'll post like just exactly this, like, okay, where's this taken from? What's the context? What's the year? Whatever. In terms of organizations being able to transform their whatever, bunch of stuff. Okay, XRP will be used by Swift. And this guy, Tom Zcash, whatever, however you want to say his last name, he was the CIO at Swift. He just left in 2026. So it's not like some recent stuff. And always the what's the word? The narrative of like Swift is not, everyone's going to overtake Swift. Swift is no more. Swift doesn't have a giant lead. And when you hear Tom talk, he goes, Swift is trust. You gotta fucking have credibility, street cred up the wazoo, security, efficiency, nonstop, all day, every day. It's gotta be robust. And that's what he talks about there in the name. That's what the name of the game is for Swift. Interoperability, connectivity. They don't do settlement. So, like, dude, this is just, it's so insane. Okay, how about we listen? How about we listen to him myself? He went on GEC. No, not on GEC. On Crypto America. Yo, get me on Crypto America. Let me talk to Eleanor.
The narrative was that Ripple specifically was going to replace Swift, and you and I have talked about this at our various meetings at crypto conferences. But why do you think that narrative caught on? And from where I sit and how you've described it, and when I look at Ripple and what they do now, it seems like they were never really trying to solve for the same problem. Yeah. So why do you think that was such a prevalent narrative among that community?
I'm not entirely sure.
Because nobody knows what they're talking about.
I think it's a valid strategy to kind of go for the visible target that people know. Go for number one, right? And if you don't make it quite there, but you make it number three, you still have a substantial business.
That's true.
But I also think that a lot of these companies have really evolved as well, right? You look what Ripple's done with acquisitions and issuing a stablecoin and everything else. It's very different than it was in 2017, 2018, and it looks like they're building a pretty robust business. Not only well beyond just kind of the network, but issuing assets and getting to prime brokerage and treasury services and everything else. So, I like to see that kind of innovation. I think the competition, the challenge is good. I would hate to be in a company or a service where nobody challenge you and you're just kind of the incumbent and everybody just kind of let it be. I don't think that's. Yeah, I think you need competition. I think you need people to challenge your ideas. I think you need people to push you, not just in finance. I mean, I think we see that in AI now, right? You need that challenge. You need somebody push.
All right, AI up the wazoo. Man, fuck AI, because I think he left Swift to now he's like pursuing something regarding AI. Yeah. So Tom's out there. All right, Tom's out there in this conversation. We're gonna jump, guys. There's a lot going on. Get your seatbelt on. Here we go. Bill Morgan. Oh my God, I don't even know if I could do this. My evil twin, the Chainlink God, against Bill Morgan. Ripple has not sold XRP to retail for many years. At least try to get the basic facts straight, okay? Zach, he goes, Ripple sells XRP to third parties OTC, who can then offload to retail in various ways. The very existence of retail exit liquidity is what makes the purchase viable for the counterparty in the first place and is how Ripple can monetize its share of zero-cost basis coins. DATs are great examples of this in action. Hence, from a perspective of Ripple Labs shareholders, the company is not in the business of selling financial tech to banks, but primarily in the business of monetizing zero-cost basis coins. That's far more profitable regardless of whether those coins are sold directly to retail or via third parties. But all their acquisitions and everything, those have a lot of money coming in. You know, I think the strategy is absolutely tremendous in my mind of like, no shit, they've been selling it off. Like there's a reason Chris Larson and Jed McHale, like they got a lot. It was weird. Jed just kind of got to sell all of his and then just move on, you know? Maybe, I don't know, maybe he just didn't want to be under the gun. Maybe he was like deployed. Oh my God, he goes to Stellar, fucking basic carbon copy, and it's monstrous, dude. DTCC, that, Stellar, Canton, Chainlink, among many others. They work with a body of 50 plus entities, Ripple Prime, one of them being in there. All the guys are still showing up at the same places. So, interesting. This is basic financial engineering. What you're describing is a distinction without a difference. At the end of the day, Ripple socializes its costs to retail token holders and privatizes its gains revenues for shareholders. All right, true. I mean, I can blatantly acknowledge that. And at the same time, I think XRP, among a basket of a few other ones, in the span of 10 years, if we're playing the long game, if you're a fucking betting man, what do you think? That you think the price is going to go down? You think crypto's over? Oh, crypto's over. It fucking, oh my God, it's 7/11/2026 and crypto's over. The DTCC is just about to get their tokenization service rolling. And Swift just announced their fucking interoperable. That's the only way this fucking works. It's the only way it works. It drives me crazy. DTCC among the fucking like 4 other entities. I can never remember I'm spazzing out, but because it's crazy. They're telling you, they tell you what the fuck is going on. Look at what they're doing, not at what they're saying. A couple of months ago, that one thing really did stick with me. It's the JP Morgan Connects platform, MasterCard, and Ondo. Okay, the four holy. I guess it's not the Holy Trinity, whatever it is, the holy fucking square. Bing, 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 bing. Utilizing, what was it? They did something with the landmark tokenization on fucking the XRP ledger, a treasury, the first time ever on a public blockchain. It's like they're doing that for no reason. It almost seems like once the DTCC gets rocking and rolling by October, that's when they want to get this rolling. Something in my bones just tells me like we're not in Kansas anymore, and it's not just Bitcoin only. Bitcoin's the only money. Whatever. Yeah, people will fucking fight till they're blue in the face about whether Bitcoin is the only thing. Whatever. The only people I can kind of respect in the Bitcoin land is like people like what's his face? Jack Dorsey. Twitter guy, sold it. He's like always been a Bitcoin guy. Fun conspiracies about him being Satoshi. Mike, we're all Satoshi. Okay. So Bill Morgan replying, he goes, my understanding is that because of the injunction, Ripple sells XRP offshore, okay, through subsidiaries to accredited investors. Going back to your important but exaggerated misalignment theory, Ripple does several things that would mitigate the risk of misalignment, including not publicly listing and selling shares to retail. Number two, engaging in buybacks of its own shares. The escrow, which produces predictability and was recognized by the SEC in its own legal documents as a step to betrust the price of XRP, not selling XRP to retail. The fact is that both the value of Ripple stock and the value of XRP have risen substantially, even if not in tandem since 2013. That's what I'm saying. Like if you got in nice little position 2017, you're still sitting pretty. You're still sitting pretty. So I mean, it's guys. We don't have legislation. We don't have fucking legislation yet. People still crying about price. Ah! We don't have fucking legislation. They need a robust tax framework because that before anything else, the government needs their piece. So I don't think really they gotta have fucking strong tax legislation. You're not getting by. What state just did that? They did a 0.02%, maybe fucking Illinois, tax on any crypto transaction. So it doesn't even, you move it, you're being taxed. It's like a fucking road on a toll. Fucking 0.02% anytime you move. Yeah, all right, see how well that works out for you. So, Zach, number one, Ripple doesn't need to go public / IPO for there to be token versus equity misalignment problem. They already sold equity to investors privately, which trades on secondary markets OTC. By selling both equity and tokens, they've created two different cap tables whose incentives mechanically do not align, primarily due to the fact that the company has a fiduciary duty to their shareholders, not their token holders. But it's always been like that's. Like, I've understood that, though. That's the thing. Like, I don't know what... I guess for the people who... I don't know, dude. At the end of the day, your decisions are your decisions. You got to just try to make the best educated ones. Like, it's not like this was some big secret, though. I preach all the time. A business is going to do what it needs to do for the business, for the money. So, like... The fact that, like, it wasn't... way back then, 2017 era, it was like the bank coin. He says it's a bank themed meme coin, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't necessarily think that's the case, kind of at all. Ripple selling zero cost basis XRP, their primary revenue source, and using those proceeds to buy back their own equity shares is most erogenous. I don't even know what that is. Example of the erogenous? Disgusting, I think is what he's saying. Example, the token versus equity. Yeah. They're driving value to shareholders at the direct expense. Who gives a shit? Escrow doesn't mitigate the fundamental token versus equity misalignment problem. It just caps the flow at which Ripple can monetize. But they got to get rid of it. Like over time, I forget which piece of legislation it was, the Clarity Act or the Genius Act, whichever one. There's something in there, at least as of right now, that an entity can't hold more than what is it? A hefty chunk of the supply. They got to get rid of it, is what it was seeming like. We'll still have to dive deeper into that. But, okay, so we're talking about the shareholder. Okay, so let's entertain it. What do the shareholders want? Money! How do we give it to them? Okay, yeah. Part of that is selling the XRP. I think what they've definitely tried to do is maybe you dip into that XRP honeypot. People are going to get rich. That's just, it is what it is. Fucking cry about it. I mean, what the hell? They're going to do what they're going to do. And then maybe we just try to build like this whole fucking ecosystem platform of just robust security and just reliability and all this shit. Whatever you want to say. Okay. Again, Ripple sells XRP to third parties, OTC, who can then sell those tokens to retail, adding a third party. All right, I can't do this. I forgot David even chimed in. That was the whole point. This guy just groans on. We get it. Ripple, I would just guess. Ripple wants the price of XRP to go up. Mike, you dare say that? Mike, no, they just sell on your head all the time. Okay. Well, if that 20% thing, whatever the hell the actual number is true, even just from the business perspective, they want to get that OCC license. Circle just officially got theirs. So shout out Circle, Jeremy Allaire. He's like, good luck to the open standard shit. Good luck to that, because I'm over here making moves because I'm Jeremy Allaire and I'm bald, bro. David, okay, they are driving value to shareholders at the direct expense of token holders. How do you think the opposite here? If you assume this reduces the price of XRP, then token holders benefit from this in form of lower prices paid when they bought the token. No? You've already made this argument before. Your logic doesn't make any sense. And I think you know that, but this is a position you have to take. Regardless, if I am to explain this from first principles, Ripple's sales of XRP dilute the circulating supply, which is negative for all existing holders because it shrinks the percent owner of circ supply. This guy just drones on, holy shit. I don't have time to like go through every single one of this, but I want to see what David says. He goes, I think this analysis is just incorrect and rests on a misunderstanding of what I'm saying. I'm saying there is no dip to buy. Anything people reasonably expect to happen tomorrow is priced in already. Interesting. Priced in today. Just as with Bitcoin's block rewards schedule, future expected increases in the circulating supply of XRP are priced in today. Suppose you see there's a predictable effect of Ripple's sales of XRP that the price next year will be 15 cents less than it would be otherwise. Buyers can work that out. It's not a secret. And so they will be willing to pay today about 15 cents less than they would otherwise. So you will pay 15 cents less when you buy and get about 15 cents less when you sell. So long as it's reasonably predictable and well understood, the expectation is that the market will price it in. In fact, really the only victim is Ripple, because Ripple does not get the benefit of lower buy price. I guess, but okay, interesting. He goes, now Zach, here you go. You cannot realistically expect people to believe that Ripple's discretionary sales of pre-mined zero-cost basis coins are equivalent to proof-of-work networks, programmatic and permissionless block reward. That's a complete category error. He says. Interesting. That's another one of his phrases he always tries to. He's like, bank-themed meme coin, and he always goes, sales of pre-mined zero-cost basis coins. He always says that. I am talking about the mechanics of supply and demand, where, objectively speaking, Ripple is diluting token holders to generate shareholder value, an inherent conflict of interest for what you offer no real reconciliation. You are aware that we are in a world where there are crypto assets that do not suffer from this token versus equity misalignment issue. That rather than just using token holders as a source of funding for corporate acquisitions and stock buybacks to the exclusive benefit of equity holders, there are projects where revenue actually accrues to the token, example being hype, being net deflationary. I do believe you understand what I'm talking about here, but I recognize you are in a position where you uniquely benefit from the status quo of how XRP and Ripple was structured, so we'll probably never agree. And he's actually kind of spitting there. All right, interesting. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was an interesting patent. You see this, Zach? This is from the DTCC, not Ripple. Why would I follow your stupid FUD narrative when I have this in more dumbass? That is a patent from the DTCC that featured Stellar and XRP. That's from a while ago. So, yeah, just interesting. So, Bare Naked Crypto chiming in, dude. He goes, Lamau, holy shit. Chainlink got absolutely demolishing the co-founder of Ripple. Long story short, XRP used to enrich shareholders, and Joel Katz is pretty much like, yeah, but it's not that bad. Literally proven it's an MLM, according to Bare Naked Crypto. Interesting. Okay, here we go, dude. Vets popping the hell off. Tom Zcash from X Swift coming in. There's so much going on. It's insane. It is true. When the price is going up, it's all sunshines and rainbows, and no one gives a shit. So it's like, just give us the price action just for this point. That's what they're waiting for, dude. They treat this like it's fucking. We will destroy them from the inside. We'll yet again make the peasants fight amongst each other. So like we don't see. Oh, we're buying gold back here, guys. Central banks accumulating gold record rates. China, literally, fucking Hong Kong. What is it? The new gold thing they're doing at the end of the 30th. They're trying to become a major player in gold. And years ago, some of their top financial guys saying once China officially gets a seat at the table and we stop the paper trade and bullshit and all this stuff, you're going to see the real price of gold. we're over here fighting. Yet again, I do think XRP, probably the Link token, probably Bitcoin, probably Ethereum, probably Stellar XLM, probably fucking Solana, probably Avalanche, probably Canton, maybe the CC token probably does well, but it's so, I don't, not financial advice, not ever. Swift is not using XRP. You gotta fucking look into your own stuff. Swift is not using XRP. I suggest blocking all XRP influencers running around lying to you that they are using XRP right now, or tell you they certainly will. For yourself, get lean. Same story with the DTCC news weeks ago. It looks incredibly desperate. Luckily, it's only a small part of the community. A lot is happening with XRP and the XRP ledger, and we don't need to make up this nonsense. From security improvements, on-chain loans, stablecoins and FX markets, to compliant trading capabilities with permission domains, and more. Not to mention on-chain privacy on the second oldest blockchain in the top 10. Robust, battle-tested. Oh, but it's ancient dinosaur tech. I mean, come on. I don't know. All of this accompanied by hard work to onboard institutions and consumers and scale adoption. It's not flashy, and we have a lot of work to do, but it's real, and that's 10,000 times better than being lied to, because, yeah, I know. A lot of bullshit. So here we go. They're talking shit about smoke. They're like, so you're trying to tell me that smoke dog with countless documents showing otherwise is a lie? But yet again, it depends where the document comes from. All right, I'll go write a document. Oh my God, Econ Mike document. Why Ripple and XRP are so great. Publish. Make it look fucking legit. ChatGPT. Make this look like a real DTC. Feed it to Smoke. Smoke could post it. Oh my God, it says it there. You have no idea the context of it. A lot of the times he does come out and, because I had to ask him a bunch of times, I'm like, where is this document from? So I have like any sort of context, because I don't know, AI can't figure that out apparently. Where the fucking documents from? He goes, show me the documents that prove otherwise, okay? With sources, please. Oh, here we go, Smoke pulling shit up. Here we go, what's this? Cryptocurrencies meet the ISO 222 standard. What is this from? Nobody knows. Wellington Altus, never heard of it. Looks like the Wonder Woman symbol, so I'll believe him though. Okay, Veneer Assets. Okay, I guess that's what they're saying. I can't believe I'm quoting this guy. Because Tom rolled up to the scene and said it to Smoke. Because he keeps saying it. He's like doubling down on this. He goes, this is still true, by the way. Yes, Swift will use XRP. Easy. Posting a bunch of stuff again. No, Tom, none of this evidence is that Swift will use XRP. It shows crypto projects adopting the ISO 222 messaging format, an open standard Swift does not own, while confusing a message syntax with a settlement asset that Swift, a network which never touches the value leg and has no architectural slot for, waiting. And then he posts another one of this guy. He's like, well, the statement from Graham Bright suggests they will use it in the future. This is a clip from like 2005 or some shit. Like, I don't know. Or he left in 2005, Swift. So, whatever. Like, you got to look into the context of all these different things. And then he goes, yeah, the same Euro Exim bank that also utilizes XRP. He's just all over the place fighting. Yo, vet, but they're using it here. Interesting bank you're pushing there. Very important who people follow these days. Fake guarantee and trade finance. The primary scams associated with the bank, so the bank, Euro Exim, whatever this is. Oh yeah, they have a fake bank guarantees, trade finance deception, and job recruitment phishing. These are all terrible rebuttals. AI screenshots. Meanwhile, they hold a Class A international banking license from Financial Services, okay, of St. Lucia. This license provides, dude, this just goes on and on. There's no proof that they were involved in bad stuff. You know that, right? Every bank's been involved with bad stuff at some point. Okay, everyone. Wow, these guys just keep going. I can't keep up with it. This is Brad. Way back when he's like, yo, we're going to capture 14% of Swift just because we can.
Swift today, there's two ways to think about Swift. There's the messaging, there's liquidity. Right. Liquidity is owned by the banks. Right. I think less about the messaging and more about liquidity. Because if you're driving all the liquidity, that's good for XRP. Right. Anyway, so I'll say 5 years, 14%. Swift.
Interesting. Bradley. Oh, this is Tom again, dude. He goes, Swift and the Ledger facts. This is a good podcast to go listen to, just to hear it, you know. good to hear all sorts of perspectives.
The Swift ledger initially will run inside of Swift and Swift data centers. It's not DeFi, right? It's going to run inside of Swift and Swift data centers, just like the messaging does.
Permission.
Right, as a starting point.
Permission.
But then the heart of Swift is interoperability. So the question is, well, how are you going to then easily connect on behalf of your customers to other public and private blockchains? And a good portion of those, not all of those, and again, there's good challenges, and this is a really developing space, but a good portion of the traction in market infrastructures and payment services and banks, are on EVM compatible models. Even things like a Stripe Tempo, right? That's going to be an EVM compatible chain. So it kind of de-risks the decision, but it also kind of helps, when you get things like composability in the EVM model, or you have to leverage interoperability in the future, and nobody quite knows what that is yet because it's all evolving. You're in a much better kind of structural position to be able to do that.
Say it with me. Say it with me. Interoperability. And Versan's out there too. He's going, Swift just names 30 plus Ripple connected banks in its new 2026 payments framework. HSBC, Deutsche Bank, Santander, Standard Chartered, JP Morgan, and the list goes on. XRP isn't replacing Swift. It's becoming the liquidity bridge inside of it. And he referred to that video that we were just showing. Yeah, and I said, Versan, he's calling you out, G. All right? And then he goes, would be nice to see them hash it out. And scams, he even wrote, sure, if he has the balls to unblock me. Versan, this guy's calling you out. Get him on the show. The Bitcoin guy. Would you look at that? Wow, that is kind of crazy. 17 global banks preparing to pilot. Bearable guy, pilot. William Shatner, Purple Rocket. Swift, the Globe. There's the Globe. Make of that what you will. Christmas in July. Yo, that would be sick. We are kind of moving. We were moving yesterday. Today is Saturday the 11th. We were moving a little bit. Bitcoin's hovering around this 64.1 and XRP around that 110. Kind of, we're at this. It does seem like there's a valve because, dude, Donnie and all that Iran war shit all has come out, heating up again. Markets aren't really reacting. I think everyone's kind of over it. Honestly, just like they threw the big e-files in front of your face. People couldn't care less. What are they gonna do about it? Like, it's so insane. Oh man, the world. Who is this? Lynn Alden explains why she thinks capital will rotate back into Bitcoin. I'm sure it will. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, all right, to know when we go live, and support by joining our Patreon. Link in the description below. Exclusive videos weekly, and that is the best place to fund the channel if you want the continued daily uploads to YouTube and everything. That's what allows me to do it, and that's it. Let me know in the comments, bro. Let me know in the comments what you think about all this. What's your level-headed take? Because there's just a bunch of bots I'll always see. I assume they're bots just because of like the stupid crap they say, but Chainlink forever, it's so